So here we are again, and it's time to talk about for sale by owners, or as we lovingly know them, FSBOs. Okay, let's get right to the point. Why do we work for sale by owners? Why will we call for sale by owners? It's a simple answer. Make money. How can we make money off of a for sale by owner? First thought that popped into your head was by listing the house. What I want to give you is that's not the only way that you'll make money. How about we just think about servicing the for sale by owner? How else can we service them other than listing the house? Well, how about this? What happens if they actually got lucky enough to sell the house themselves? What might they have to do? Buy a house? If they were staying local, might they buy a house from you? And if they weren't staying local, let's say they were moving to Texas, like Paulie, then guys, send a referral. It's an easy thing, and you can still make money. It's providing service, and of course, if you get that kind of rapport with them, what else do you have an opportunity for? What happens if they're not lucky enough to get it sold on their own? And oh, by the way, it's not just sold, but closed. So really, primary three: one, list the home; two, sell them a home; three, send a referral. And there are other ways. I want you to think about the mind of the for sale by owner. And a question comes up: why would they try to sell on their own? First thing that you come up with: so they can save the commission. Now that is what most of them will tell you, but be prepared, there are other reasons. And one of them, although rare, is they're looking to find a really good salesperson. If you're a really good salesperson, you can prove it by telling them why they should not be selling on their own. What you can bring that they can't do for themselves. Their attitude towards agents: they don't like them, they're greedy. Matter of fact, if I said finish this question, most for sale by owners think that most real estate agents are, you can fill in the blanks with all the different words that you came up with during that time period. And oh, by the way, what do real estate agents do to sell houses? Because this is thinking like a for sale by owner. What do you do to sell houses? I'll wait. Create a short list. It won't take long. List goes something like this. You're going to throw in that thing called an MLS. You might hold an open house. You're going to get it out there on the internet. And then you're going to sit on your butt and wait for somebody else to sell it. That may exactly be the mindset of a for sale by owner. And if that's the way you thought you worked, and that's all you thought you did, would you give away 6% of your equity? $18,000 on a $300,000 home. Would you give that away? Something to think about. So I'm going to call these for sale by owners. What's my goal? What in the end do I really want from making this contact? Let's not beat around the bush. You've heard me say it before. Why do we make any contact? It's about making money. Got to keep it out there. It's what we do. We don't do this pro bono. This is not a not-for-profit. It is a for-profit. You Incorporated is for-profit. You can't afford to do this if you don't get an income. That is the end result. You want to make money. A couple of ways to do it. We already discussed it. So when I call them the first time or the second time or the third or fourth or the fifth or the sixth, whatever it does, what is my primary goal before I end the conversation, be it face-to-face, through a telephone? What's my primary? I want to get an appointment for a job interview. Don't lose the meaning of what I just said. It is exactly that. I want an appointment for a job interview. That's my primary goal. Secondary, if I can't get that, I may settle for an appointment just so that I can be face to face. Because here's what we know. I can build great rapport with people when we're face to face. Much, much easier than I can over the telephone. But even if I'm already face to face, it's still let me get the appointment for the job interview. I'm not going to try to do a job interview right now when I knocked on the door. I've got to do the process, and we've discussed that already. Now, as a minimum, if I cannot get the job interview, if I cannot get face-to-face, let me at least try to go to step number 3 and make sure that I get permission to make future contacts with this for sale by owner. If they qualify. Now what I mean by that is look, if you got a blithering idiot on the phone, sorry for putting it that way. If you got somebody who's rude, crude, shrewd, and you just don't like them, look, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You don't need that fish. Move on. There's going to be plenty of for sale by owners for you to be able to work. Bottom line is, get permission to make the future contacts. So, in making this initial approach to a FSBO, we know that we've got to have a reason to call. We've talked. Do an introduction. State the reason for your call, who's a prospect, and even with a FSBO, we may ask for referrals. So your reason for calling? Well, the script is written as saying I'm doing a survey of all the for sale by owners. That's a great one. Matter of fact, you could take the script, knock on their door, and say, hi, I'm Darwin, I'm with HRC Realty. Obviously fill in the appropriate company. The reason I stopped by today is that I'm doing a survey of all the for sale by owners in the area, and I was just wondering, when you sell the home, where are you going to next? Oh man, that's great. And go through the rest of it. Okay? How about this? Is it possible you see the house, you apply the brake, pull into the driveway, and actually go knock on the door? You could do this over the phone. But the reason I'm calling is because as a professional real estate agent, I represent buyers. And my fiduciary responsibility to these buyers is to make sure I'm aware of all the potential inventory. I'd like to make your home one of those. Would you be okay with that? How simple is this one? As a matter of fact, you represent a buyer. What I just stated is true. And there is a particular buyer who, as you're searching, you're going, oh my gosh, Karen and Paulie should see this one. Now I'm going to call specifically on behalf of Karen and Paulie. Hi, Mr. FSBO, it's Darwin, HRC Realty. The reason for my call is I represent Paul and Karen Daimling. As I looked at what your house is described as, it appears to be a home that I should be showing them. Would you mind if I bring them over and expose your property to them? It's what we refer to as a specific buyer. Okay? Now, when do I do that? When I have a buyer representation contract, because now the buyer is contractually bound to see that I get paid. We'll remove that excuse why you wouldn't use their name. Hi, Mrs. FSBO. It's Darwin. I'm a local realtor. Well, I understand that you want to sell it on your own. It does say for sale by owner. The reason for my call is I wanted to see when you sell the home where you're going next, because if it's local, I'd like to represent you in buying your new home. Well, you are? Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to help people buy their new homes? Well, you're kidding. We should get together. I'd like to interview for that job. Where are you moving next? Texas? Oh, no kidding. Are you familiar with the relocation services that we have available to you? And it's free at no cost, no obligation. How about, let's see, I've written down a few things that I've got here. Oh, hi, Miss Fizbo. I'm a local realtor. I was just calling to see if you're open to compensating a real estate agent if they brought you a buyer. It's just starting the conversation is really all we're doing. Going to the rest of the questions. How about this? It goes ring, ring. They say hello. You'd say, hi, this is Darwin. I'm a local realtor. I wanted to call and apply for the job. Wait for the deafening silence to end. And they say, I'm sorry, do you have the right number? Well, yeah, I see that you're trying to sell your home on your own. Well, yes, but we don't want to list it. Oh, I understand, but the job I'm applying for is I assume that once you get the home sold, that you must be buying a new home, aren't you? That's the job I'd like to apply for. If they say, well, we already have bought a home. Oh, well, fantastic, good for you. Well, let me ask you, when you get this home sold then, you've already bought a new home, why are you trying to sell it on your own? Just go to the next question that exists. It's a simple thing. How about this? There's a listing that the company has that you happen to be holding open. Go down and knock on the neighbor's door and tell them. The reason I stopped by is you may notice the neighbors have their home listed with us. I'm going to be holding that home open on Sunday. I'm doing it between 1 and 4. I thought, what the heck? Why don't you hold your house open? And maybe between the two of us, we can create a lot more traction into the neighborhood. Maybe it'll help one of us get our home sold. And then throw this to them. By the way, I brought a few feature sheets. If somebody comes to you first, would you mind sending them my way? I mean, only if they don't want to buy your home, because I'll do the same thing for you. Now, would you mind if I tell people about your home? I'll tell you what, I got 5 quick minutes. Can you give me a quick tour of the home so I can talk knowledgeably about it when people come through my open house? How about this? Hi, Miss Fizbo. I'm Darwin. I'm a local realtor. I see that you're trying to sell your house on your own. I just wanted to call and see how I can help. I don't know where it's going to go. You never do, and neither do you, until you pick up a phone or you knock on a door. Guys, really simple ideas that you can use to call a for sale by owner. You have the script. You've been writing it out, haven't you? You have questions to ask. You understand the response pattern. Above all else, when it comes to the for sale by owner, understand the process. Have the questions in front of you. Relax and just keep asking questions, trying to find something that you can trade that they would find value in. And then make sure you don't call them once. Unless if you're once and, yeah, you don't qualify. Call them 2, 3, 4, 5. Matter of fact, what you'll learn later on is what I refer to as the call them until they LCD. List, close, or die.